Open back versus closed back headphones. Why should you care? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. So honest, it hurts. And if this is your first time here and you like what you see and you want to come back again, then you can hit like and subscribe and bell notify yourself so you'll know when to do that. And if you've been here before, thank you ever so much for coming back again. Now, let's get to the topic at hand. Open-backed versus closed-back headphones, and why should you care? First off, let's talk about the difference between open and closed-back headphones. I mean, it should be pretty obvious. Closed back headphone. The Sony MDR V6s. These are legendary for studio use, etc., etc. And they set you back about $99. Now, what makes them closed? Obviously, everything's closed. There's no holes. So that's what makes them closed back. Over here we have the Sennheiser HD 580X, which is an open-backed headphone. And you can see here, there's little holes all the way through this. If I grab my cell phone here, you'll actually be able to see the flashlight shining through. So the first time that I used open-backed headphones was when I bought the Grotto SE80s, which are not still in production, but there's a different version than the one that I have. But the sound is what really amazed me. It just, instead of feeling closed in, it felt like all of a sudden the music that I was listening to was much more open and had a much bigger soundstage. Now, what do I mean by soundstage? Basically, if you're listening to music and you close your eyes, you can hear where things are, right? You can hear the drums over here and maybe the bass guitar and a vocal and a backing vocal and a couple of guitars, whatever. And once I heard those Grottos, I was a open-backed headphone fanatic. However, there are some pros, there are some cons when it comes to open-backed headphones. What are the pros? The pros are, as I just said, that really open soundstage. Another pro for the open-backed headphone, the ability to recreate frequencies a little bit more realistically than closed-back headphones. In closed-back headphones, you can sometimes hear a more bass building up because it's closed. It's closed around your ear like that, and the bass builds up. Sometimes the treble can be a little bit harsh. It just doesn't have any place to dissipate and really ring out the way that it needs to. So you've got soundstage, you've got EQ. Another pro of most open-backed headphones, and actually these 580X Jubilees, is that the cables are detachable and you can change them when they get chewed up by your dog or run over by the vacuum cleaner, or just you want a longer cable. This one comes with what looks like a 6-foot cable. But say you want a 10-foot cable, you can do that with these. And I find that you can wear open-backed headphones for longer without more ear fatigue. Who are open-backed headphones for? Who are the people who should think about getting open-backed headphones? First, if you're somebody who really enjoys listening to music, then you should consider open-backed headphones. You get that much wider soundstage. You get that much more precise EQ. You get a better experience all around. If you're somebody who listens to high quality digital, or if you listen to vinyl, or if you listen to anything like that, then having a set of these at home ready for just anything you got to throw at them is in your interest. Another set of folks where open-backed headphones might be something worth considering is if you have a home studio like I do here. If you do a lot of critical listening when using your headphones, it is much, much better for you to be using open-backed headphones as opposed to what you would get with closed-back headphones. Closed-back headphones have their place in the recording studio. You don't want to have open-backed headphones in a recording studio while you're recording, because one con of the open-backed headphone is that sound goes into your ear, but it also goes back out of the headphone. And it's really audible to anybody in the room or any microphone that's live in the room. That's when you really want to have closed-back headphones like maybe these Sonys or Sennheiser. The HD 280s are very good. There's a lot of closed-back headphones that would be fantastic in the studio. But when you're listening to and maybe mixing down or playing a virtual instrument or something like that, you're going to hear a more realistic representation of what you're doing with open-backed headphones than you would with closed back. Finally, if you're a gamer, if you get into the games, then you want to have open-backed headphones, especially if you're somebody who's playing sort of like a first-person shooter, something competitive where being able to isolate sound and really hear directionality and the position of sound, and maybe somebody sneaking up behind you so you can turn around and shoot them before they shoot you, or anything like that, you are going to get, with that much wider soundstage, a much better representation of the directionality of your game. Not only that, but the game itself is going to sound better with the open-backed headphones. If you're a streamer and you need a microphone, then you might need something like a microphone that can clip on here, or something USB that goes into your computer, or with a digital audio interface. But there are a lot of solutions to that. But I'm telling you, open-backed headphones are the way to go with gaming. Now, that leads me to the cons. One of the first cons of the open-backed headphone is a lot of times they are not very sensitive. What does that mean? It means that it takes more power to drive the headphones than a lot of sources have. It works like this. If you have a not so sensitive headphone, and this is measured in ohms, you can find out what the ohms rating is for your headphones on the box, on the manual, on the web, whatever, but usually somewhere around 250, 300 ohms, you're in very not sensitive land with headphones. And open-backed headphones typically are sort of in that area. Now, I found that these HD 580Xs are much more sensitive than other headphones, and just be aware of that when you're buying them, what you're using to drive the headphones. You'll hear people talk about DACs and amps and all this other stuff. DAC is a digital audio converter, and then an amp is something that will boost the signal going into the headphone after it's come out of your source, whether it's your computer, your smartphone, your whatever. That's one potential big con. Another con is if you're somebody who listens to low quality sound, if you're somebody who listens to the lowest quality on Spotify or something like that, or you don't have digital files that are of a high quality in your library, nothing's going to make those sound great. And open-backed headphones may make them sound a little bit better to you because of their design, but open-backed headphones are not going to make poor audio sources sound fantastic. Another con is, of course, since they are open-backed, as we discussed before, sound can both go in to your ear and out of the headphone. This really limits how and where you can use open-backed headphones. Now, these are not headphones that you want to take on the subway. These are not headphones that you want to have on the bus. These are not headphones that you want to take to the gym. These are not headphones that you want to wear in bed with your significant other if your significant other is trying to sleep. Open-backed headphones are not for those kinds of situations. Anytime you need sound isolation for whatever reason, the closed-backed headphone is the way to go. So that limits the use case for open-backed headphones. But fear not, because the use cases where the open-backed headphones really shine are what make them really worth buying. For me, it's worth having open-backed headphones for those times when I really do want to sit down and enjoy what I'm listening to, or when I am in a gaming situation where I have the opportunity to listen with these kinds of headphones and have that much of a better experience. So whenever I grab something new, headphones, speakers, whatever, I will throw on some Beatles, I will throw on some other stuff that I really know well. And one thing that blew me away about those open-back headphones, those Grotto SR80s, is that if you're listening to something like A Day in the Life off of Sgt. Pepper, or any of those Beatles sort of soundscape type songs, then all of a sudden there's just everything is happening around you. It's as if the sound is everywhere. And that in and of itself is worth having a set of these around if you love to listen to music. If you have critical listening applications, then you want to consider these. If you're a gamer, you want to consider an open-backed headphone. Let's just take a second to talk about what makes the Sennheiser HD 580Xs, this is the Jubilee edition, a little bit special, even compared to the 580s that you can get on Amazon or anything else. Now, these are unique in the sense that Mass Drop, now the Drop, has worked with the manufacturer to make a few tweaks here and there in color scheme, in sound profile. It's really a special edition. Now, another place where the HD 580X is special is they cost $160. $160, and there's usually a discount code. I may have one down in the description below that'll get you some percentage off, but they come in at a lower price than their real predecessors, and that's worth talking about because $160 is really, really cheap when it comes to really good quality open-backed headphones, and these 580Xs are in fact good quality open-backed headphones. I have the Sennheiser HD600s. Those cost me over $300 when I purchased them several years ago, and those things are fantastic. These are just a little bit different. I can't say better or worse, but just a little bit different in how they sound, and all for half the price. So the 580Xs are a great choice if you want to experiment with open-backed headphones, but you don't want to spend the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $1,200 that open-backed headphones can cost. Another reason why these are so special is the Drop really wants you to have a great experience. They want you to take a little bit of a risk if you're not familiar with open-backed headphones, and to do that, they offer a money-back guarantee, so you have a risk-free experience. You can try these out, you can use them as you might want to use them, and then, if you're not satisfied, you can send them on back, no questions asked. The Drop is there for you, giving you the opportunity to try and expand your horizons when it comes to headphones. So that's the difference between open and closed-backed headphones. That's why something like the HD80X Jubilee Edition are very much worth considering if you want to try them out. If you're already in love with open-back headphones, maybe you learned a little bit of something as well. But my main concern is that you enjoyed this video. I want to say thank you very much for being here. If this was your first time and you want to come on back again, then you can like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you will know when more Painfully Honest videos are coming out. I do headphones, I do smartphones, I do computers, I do a lot of different tech-related stuff with a slant toward audio. So, if you're interested in videos like that, come on back and see me again. And if you've been here before, thank you ever so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.